Hey again, guys. So, as promised, I'm here talking today about another problem with physical media lately, which is big box retailers. Now, I remember the good old days of going to Best Buy at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday and getting the latest greatest new releases on DVD, Blu-ray. Those days seem to be pretty much long gone. Trying to get into 4K UHD releases. The first time I really noticed this happening was actually on Blu-ray, and I was going to get the special edition of The Right Stuff, which I guess maybe a little naively I thought that's really not that obscure of a title. I'm sure they're going to carry that. And that was the first time I really noticed that a title I thought was a pretty well-regarded, catalog title just wasn't in the store. And I remember just going, wow, I guess the only way I can purchase that now is online. And I'm finding that more and more. And even more disturbingly with really, I think, big titles. The last two titles that I've actually been interested to go get were Mission Impossible 4, Ghost Protocol, and the one before that I had a really hard time with was The Matrix. And the issue was, or the issue is that Amazon will come out with a price and it'll be kind of middle of the road. You'll find a better price at a retailer. I'll cancel the Amazon order. I'll try to reserve it at the retailer. And then there's always some kind of issue where I'll go to the store and it won't be there, or the last time with Rogue Nation, I ended up going to several stores and I had an issue with my Best Buy card where I was trying to use a $5 reward certificate toward it because it was actually $5 more than Amazon, but I'm still kind of old school and I like to go get something on release day and actually have it instead of just making some clicks and having it sent to me. I don't know, I've never gotten the kind of enjoyment out of that as I do just going and picking something off of a shelf, I guess it's something that's carried over from the times of going to the video store and picking out my movie. It's just not the same finding something on Netflix. But anyway, I went to the store. I was going to use this $5 certificate. Well, subsequently, Amazon dropped their price to $5 below where Best Buy was. So I was like, okay, I'm going to cancel that order because that way I'll at least I still want to go to the store for something, but at least I can use the $5 certificate for something else. I don't need to use it for this because I can already get it at Amazon and not even have to use my $5. So I canceled that order. Well, right after I canceled it, I noticed that Amazon was out of stock for a month on this particular title. I was like, okay, so fine, I'll reinstate the order. Screw the $5. I'm gonna go get it at Best Buy. Well, turns out that my $5 reward certificate wasn't in the system anymore because it still showed that I had used it for this purchase. So I called and they said it's going to be 3 to 5 days before you get that credit back, or the option to use that $5 credit back. In the meantime, as I'm waiting for that, all of the local Best Buy stores sell out of the title because none of them got more than like 4 or 5 copies. This is becoming, unfortunately, the rule and not the exception with new releases, and it's getting extremely hard to go on even release day and find something. And to compound the problem, I would call Best Buy on any number of titles. I've tried this and I keep getting the same. Best Buy used to be nice enough to set something aside for you as long as you were coming on the same day. Well, now it's essentially become a scavenger hunt. If you want to find something, I called a Best Buy, I can't even remember the title I was going to get at the moment. But it was something that wasn't. I think it was The Matrix. This was my experience with The Matrix. That last story was my experience with Ghost Protocol. With The Matrix, I called a particular Best Buy. They had it in stock, but they only had 2 copies in. By the time I got there, they had 1, and the 20-minute trip that it took me to drive there, they would not hold me a copy. And it's getting to the point where you have to be the lucky one that gets it. It's like first come, first serve for everything, and it makes you not want to support your local big box retailer. You don't want to go to the store anymore because it's like every day is Black Friday because everything's in such high demand. Physical media, I do think that there is more of a market for it left than some of these retailers either know about or care about. But they're not making it easy on the consumer. You know, when I call and I say, hey, can you set me aside a copy of a movie that just came out in 4K that was released 20 years ago, I'm the target demographic. I'm the one who's the collector who wants that. Like, another time I went to a Best Buy store and they said, oh yeah, it says we have 3 copies, but we can't find them. And, you know, I'll look all around the store, I'll look behind movies, and sometimes people will pick them up and put them behind other titles, and it's like, you know, if you would just set one aside, then we wouldn't run into that issue. So I'm really frustrated with the big box retailers because it does just make you want to go online. And a lot of the time, Best Buy ended up losing my business on Ghost Protocol because I ended up, you know, they ended up selling out while I was waiting for that $5 credit to go back on. And it's unfortunate because it's getting more and more that even people like me who want to go to the store, I want to go to the store and I want to get something off the shelf as it's released, and I can't anymore. It's very, very frustrating. So in a sense, I think part of the problem is what I was talking about in the last video, that we're just expecting too much at this point from these studios. Not that we shouldn't expect quality and not that we shouldn't expect something, but we can't expect everything to come out and be this uber amazing special edition, or we're not going to support it. We need to support the things that are still being released, that are at least some efforts being put into them. And the other half of the equation is, even when we're making an effort, sometimes it's getting to where it's very difficult to do anything but just go onto Amazon or go on to stores, online websites where they actually carry some product. It's disturbing for somebody like me who, you know, feels like once physical media is gone. The problem with platforms like Netflix is you don't own that content. You own access to that content for that month. You stop paying that subscription, and that's not your content anymore. And it's content that they feel like sharing with you that month. They could take it off tomorrow. You don't know. So anyway, that was my second rant about physical media. I'm going to keep this one a little bit more concise than I did the first one. I asked a couple of friends for some feedback last time, and they said, I agree with you. Your points were good, but maybe a little long-winded. So I'm going to wrap this one up. But my next video is going to be more the point of this series, which is I'm going to be reviewing a movie. I'm not sure which one I'll do first, but I'm going to pick a movie that almost everybody hates, even if it's got a small contingent of fans. Most people hate it, but I think it's great and totally underrated, and I'll, you know, defend it to the death kind of thing. So that's going to be my next one. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please subscribe, like down there at the bottom. I'll see you next time.